Okay, here we go. 2.3c, finding slope from 2 points. I labeled our page numbers for this lesson. We're going to do 5 pages during our video. We are going to first start by making sure you have a pencil and a straight edge and any highlighters or colored pencils or ink pens that you want to use. Pause the video if you do not have your supplies ready. Graph the following pairs of points. Use the graph to determine the slope. So I'm going to graph x3. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Put a point. Remember, for x, we go this way, and for y, we go this way. All right, over 0, up 1. There's that point. Let's draw a straight line. Make the line long. Get your arrows on the end. And now we're going to find our rise over run. 1, 2. So I went down 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. I had to go backwards 4. Negative divided by a negative is a positive. Can this fraction be simplified? It can. Our slope is 1/2. Let's do this one. Over 1, up 4. Backwards 2, up 6. All right, let's get a nice straight long line with some arrows. Remember, you can pause the video at any time. All right, what do we have? We have down 2, 1, 2, 3, and positive 3. Down 2, positive 3. Can this fraction be reduced? It cannot. All right, so this is very similar to what we just did yesterday, counting some boxes. But we don't want to have to graph points. We're going to come up with a procedure. I am going to come up with a procedure for you. So when we had our point, and we had an x and a y point, correct? We also had another x and a y point, correct? Our x points are runs, and our y point is always the rise. So what we're going to do is we're going to have a mathematical way. And we're going to say the change in y divided by the change in x. And when we want to find the change of something, when we want to see how one number changes into a different number, we're going to be doing some subtraction. Okay? So this is what we're going to do. Watch very carefully. I can't have both of these named x and y. So since this was the first point that I wrote down, I'll call this x1 and y1. This is the second point that I wrote down. So I'll call this x2 and y2. So I'm going to take y2 and subtract it from y1. And then I'm going to take x2 and subtract that from x1. This is what I get. 1 take away 3, 0 take away 4, the exact same slope, only doing it mathematically. We are going to get a lot of practice at this. Turn the page. There it is. All right, so we're going to find the rise and the run of each line. All right, so this point right here, I would have to say looks like one, 1. And this point right here looks like over 3 up 3. All right? So it doesn't really matter which one you label 1 and 2. This one I'm looking at first. I'll call that my first point. I'll call this my second point. And I'll take my y's and subtract them. And I'll take my x's and subtract them. So 3 take away 1, 3 take away 1. I get a slope of 2 over 2, which is the same thing as a 1. I went through that kind of quickly. That's okay, we're going to get tons of practice. Let's see, this point right here looks like and this point up here looks like 4, 8. All right, let's label them. All right, so my rise, those are my y's. 8 minus 2, 4 minus 1. What do we get? We get 6 over 3, which is the same thing as 2. All right, we're going to get some negative numbers. So let's see, this point right here looks like over 0 up 3. This point right here looks like over 4 down 2. Okay? Let's get our points labeled. Okay? Let's subtract our y's. Negative 2 minus 3 and 4 minus 0. So I get negative 5 over 4. Negative, 5/4. Let's try these points. let's see, this one looks like -3 up 2, and this one looks like over 1 up 6. Get them labeled. Alright, so let's subtract. I have 6 take away 2, and I have 1 take away a -3. 6 take away 2, that's 4. 1 minus a -3, add the opposite, that's a 4. 4 over 4 is the same thing as 1. We are going to write the formula that we have been using. Okay, ready? The formula for slope, remember, for some reason, slope is an m. So m equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Okay? So now we're going to get a chance to calculate some slopes. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to plot some points. -4, -4 is here. Over 1 up 6. Let's do a nice, long, straight line with arrows. Looks like my slope is going to be positive, isn't it? Alright, so here's my x and my y, x2, y2. 6 minus a -4, 1 minus a -4. Let's see what I get. Add the opposite, add the opposite. So my slope is going to be 2. The change in y over the change in x. Rise over run. These little triangles right here, just for fun fact, these are called delta. It's the Greek letter. Sorry, here it is. It's the Greek letter delta, and it means change. So you might see those come up from time to time. Our slope is 2. Let's take a look at that. We needed a positive 2. So up 2, 1, 2 over 1. Up 2 over 1. Up 2 over 1. Up 2 over 1. I can see that my line has a slope of positive 2. Let's see what kind of line I get on this one. Over 4, down 3, and backwards 4, up 9. Looks like I've got a negative slope coming. All right, let's see what I get. All right, so 9 minus a -3 and -4 minus a 4. Let's see what I get. Add the opposite, so I get 12 over -8. Can reduce to 3 over -8. 2. So every time I get a rise of 3, I get a run of negative 2. All right. We've got 4 more problems to go over for our lesson, and then you're going to get some practice. Same directions as yesterday. All right, so over here I have, let's find my points. I have a negative 3, negative 1, and I have a negative 1, negative 3. Lots of negatives. Let's not get these all mixed up. X, Y, X, Y, negative 3 minus a negative 1, negative 1 minus a negative 3. Take your time, slow down, don't get all your negatives out of order. So I will get negative 2 over positive 2. Negative 1, and I have a negative line. Oops, over 1. Same thing as negative 1. Pause the video and see if you can do D, E, and F. All right, E and F are a little bit different. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to plot 0, negative 2. And I'm going to use my given slope. So this is rise over run, and I have a negative, so I need to 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. I get a new point. I get 4, negative 5. Let's double check. Negative 5 minus negative 2, 4 minus 0, negative 3, 4. That was kind of fun. I like those. Let's try one more of those. All right, what do I have? I have a negative 1 and a negative 7. And I need to go rise 5, run 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 over 1. I would get 0, negative 2. All right, let's double check. Negative 2 minus a negative 7. 0 minus a negative 1. Add the opposite. Good thing we did all that work with integers. I get 5 over 1. All right, you are going to get some practice. The substitute teacher or Mr. Wolf can initial that you've done your practice, and then you can get your assignment. Whatever is not done in class is homework. Have a good day. See you tomorrow.